It's a gorgeous day in Eugene, Oregon, known as Tracktown, USA, and you're going for a run around your neighborhood. You lace up your shoes, put on your smartwatch, and start a running app that logs your every step. What you might not be thinking about is how your watch, your phone, or even a sensor placed in your shoe are telling a lot of folks about your run. My name is Courtney Cox. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Indigenous, Race, and Ethnic Studies. I'm broadly interested in issues of labor, identity, and technology through sport. One of my current research projects considers how new technology platforms and hardware have changed the game for not only elite athletes, but for weekend warriors. Some of this technology makes us a lot safer, like the smart helmet that can detect traumatic brain injury mere moments after football contact. And under pandemic, a lot of wearable tech, for example, now measures the probability that you might have COVID due to so much data collected on your body every day. These small shifts in measures such as your respiratory rate or heart rate variability can tell you if you might need to go and get tested. While these are obviously fantastic advances that can help athletes, trainers, and doctors do what's best for the health of your favorite squad, there's also a scarier side to all of this. Like, who has access to all of this sensitive data and what they choose to do with it? There's lots and lots of money to be earned by using algorithms as predictive technology, not only for a franchise figuring out the best possible lineup combination, but for those gambling through daily fantasy websites or Las Vegas books. There's also, of course, the corporations that create this technology and the advertisers hungry for as much information about you as possible. Given that a lot of these new technologies are tested out at the collegiate level, a coach or athletic director might have access to how much sleep you got the night before a big game, or perhaps if there was someone sleeping with you. So what we do with data and how it's leveraged is really important. There really is no such thing as raw data. An interesting complication here is how specialized data collection helps us move beyond these outdated one-size-fits-all understandings of health. One obvious example you might have heard of is body mass index, or BMI. It divides your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. It's originally based on the ideal average of man in the 1830s. What it doesn't capture in that number is muscle mass, key health conditions, and important differences across race and sex. It also tells us absolutely nothing about children and our elders. While BMI has already been refuted and debunked for its bias, and it's actually more likely to result in disordered eating to gain or lose weight than to actually diagnose or determine health outcomes. We still need to remain vigilant on how that data is collected and used, whether it's selling you stuff or ultimately in the future if your biometric data will be accessed by insurance companies to assess how much you should pay for healthcare or deny you outright. In my work, I think about how these technological innovations, which are often tested out on college athletes before they hit the market, create hierarchies of the quote-unquote right type of body and fuel problematic assumptions about who belongs in sport and what kinds of data, like steps, for example, are worthy of measurement. This new landscape requires that everyday users, elite athletes, sports unions, and agents demand policies and agreements that hold tech companies, sports leagues, and universities accountable for what they collect and how it will be used. So the next time you're closing those rings, logging your health data on an app, or reading up on the latest analysis of your favorite team, there's a lot more stored in the cloud than a little rain on your run.